if I can actually get to a document. There we go. So here's some different documents that are out there. So it actually gives you a reading preview. Again, if you step back, if you click on different items, it gives you a preview of what those individual folders or applications, rich text format, photos, just pretty much anything. So if we go back and look at the data, no matter what folder you're in, you have this other tab here, which gives you the ability to sort by all of these different settings: name, kind, application, the last time you opened it, the last time you modified it. So if you start stepping through this, um, obviously there's not a mix. These are all the same type of application, but I can sort by size and restructure it. So then it starts giving a breakout and detail as to how they're grouped. This is just a quick preview. Basically what you're doing is you're zooming in on this. This gives you some changes or options here. You can, different things that you can do with the folder or the program that you're focused on. In this case, it's this one particular file. So, if I click here, I can move to trash. I can do a get info on it that tells me all the details, the size of it, the creation, the modification. Because this is a digital picture, it reads the metadata on it so that it tells you that it was a Sony digital camera that took it. Here's the model number of the camera, a bunch of information. Most people don't care, but it's kind of interesting. Anything that you can do with this little key right here, if you have a trackpad, depending on which version that you have, like on mine, I have it zoned in spots. So if I click on the bottom right-hand side of my trackpad, it will do a right mouse button. Most of the equipment that's deployed for this, our staff here, use 2 fingers and click, and it will do a right mouse button. So most of everything that you see in the gear up here is represented right here. And again, we covered the search area already. My goodness, there's a lot of chatting going on here. Making sure it wasn't anything urgent. You can also hold on the desktop and you can highlight multiple icons. If you need to delete something, you can click on it, right mouse button, move to trash, or you can pick it up and drop it into your trash container. If you take something and you hover, it'll open the folder. Connecting to servers. Most of the time we've connected to servers for you, so at any given time you should be able to go to recent items and see everything that's been opened recently, including the servers, which are listed down here. And so you can just click on what you're trying to get to and it should bring it right up. In your case, we've told the keychain to remember your passcodes. Typically I don't do that because I have to log into so many different ones that it depends on what I need to do as to what permissions I need. So that's one way that I can get into a folder area. The other thing that you can do is if you go to the Go under the Finder, and I get to the Finder just by clicking on the desktop, or I can do Alt-Tab and switch to the Finder. Go to Go, connect a server, and again, for most folks, we've actually included shortcuts that they need to be able to get to various servers. So you should be able to go through and pick a server that you need to gain access to, highlight it, and say connect. Then at this point, since I've already logged in one time, there's additional SharePoints besides the personnel area that I could log into. And so depending on my permissions, I can go in and actually log into multiple folders. You'll now see that these SharePoints are being displayed on the desktop. And these indicate that these are server shares. Also, on my particular setup, I can also see, in addition to the Macintosh hard drive, I can see each individual SharePoint. So I can go in here and actually click on these different SharePoints and step through where I need to go. Now, all of these SharePoints all belong to one server. And you'll see right here that all of the SharePoints belong to this one server. So I can hit this icon and basically eject the server, and now you see all of the server mounts are gone. If I connect back in, it does require a passcode. In your case, it should be remembered. Another way that you can unmount a volume, and this is also the same if you put a CD into your computer, you'll need to take this and just simply drop it into the trash. Now you'll notice when I click a volume that is a mounted volume, you'll see that it actually changes the icon. Instead of being a trash icon, it now is an arrow saying eject. And then basically it unmounts the volume. So if you had a CD involved, you can drop it in there and it will actually spit out the DVD or the CD. This is also important if you're using the memory sticks. If you put in a memory stick into the keyboard or into the laptop and you're finished with it, you need to basically put it away so that it unmounts from the desktop. I was looking around to see if my bag was close by. I would stick one in there so you could see what it looks like when it shows up. 1 second, I'll get it.
I know some of you are going to have questions. Hopefully you've been making notes so that at the end we can just fire them off and David can address them.
I'm going to insert a memory stick into the system. Or not.
Are you opening up for questions right now, Dennis?
No,
One last thing, just let me follow up. Let me just finish up on this real quick. You'll see that there's now a no-name hard drive, and you see the icon is different than the rest of the icons. When you open this is actually the memory stick. I wouldn't want to just pull this out because it's just like you need to unmount it. There could be files that are in use. So if you put in a external hard drive or if you've plugged in a memory stick to transfer data, what you want to do is grab that and eject it. Once it's ejected, then you can remove it. I was just emptying the trash because it needed to be emptied, but it takes a while sometimes for the memory sticks to be ejected, so I was just killing time there. Also, you know, your trash fills up just like anything else, and it's just a folder. So if I put something in the trash, I can open it and then take it back out of the trash. The only time that does not work is if you're deleting something from a server. If you're deleting it from a server, it will delete it immediately and there is no recovering it. And then to empty the trash, you can just right mouse button on it and press empty if there's something in it. That's kind of just a brief how to kind of navigate around. There are some other settings. System preferences is like the control panel in the Windows machine. So this is where all of your mouse, your trackpad settings are set up. This is where we set up your printers, your sharing. You know, pretty much everything that drives or runs the computer sits in here. If you
now,
want to
David,
change
would they have the privileges to modify some of those, like, you know, if they
some things.
Okay, like trackpad or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, some things, personal trackpad items. You know, you can set your desktop screensavers. You can change your dock settings. I mean, there's things that you can do.
Okay, well, David, if you're okay, let's entertain some questions. Start with Ben. I know you had a question.
Yeah, I have actually two, if you don't mind. The first one, David, is there a way, because I know I'm not very well versed in all the command prompts, whatever they may be. Is there a way we can get a list of what those are, like a glossary of terms, so to speak, so I can kind of educate myself on the quick way around and navigating around as opposed to having to do it the old-fashioned way? That's my first question. The second question is regarding the memory stick execution. I'm assuming that's not the same if you just have an external POP, because it's kind of a standalone item, correct?
The memory stick question first. What was the question about that?
He's using the Jetpack right now because he does not have a stick. So his question is that's different. It's not being plugged in, so therefore he just turns it off rather than undocking it.
Yes, what you're talking about is a wireless connectivity. I don't have that on this particular unit, but if you are running a USB stick or you have one of the Wi-Fi pucks, that's a little different situation. It's paired. I guess it's equivalent to like here where my mouse is connected. If I turn my mouse off, it doesn't hurt anything, so it's fine. You can just turn it off and don't worry about it. What we're referring to is when you put a memory stick in or something like that, it actually has data structure, and if it's in the process of writing a file to that drive and you've disconnected it, it'll corrupt it. So it's just really critical for things like memory sticks or external hard drives that you unmount them. Same thing with the server. If you're in the middle of transferring a file to the server and you think it's done and you unmount that server, you could actually corrupt the file. Now, typically, it won't let you unmount the server until it's finished copying. But that's why, if you're just going to shut down your computer to go home for the night, you should just be able to say shut down the computer and it will automatically unmount those volumes. And if there's a problem, it'll tell you. It'll say I can't shut down because a program's still running. And then at that point you can make a decision what to do about it. As far as the shortcut keys, there are some basic ones that maybe I can search the internet and see if there's like a list of basic ones, like some things that you wouldn't normally see. I'm just trying to figure. Well, I guess they're all pretty much there. Like force quit, it has the symbols here. The log out, is Shift Command Q. That one there is that means Command Option Escape is what those keystrokes are.
So other than going if you find something, you could Google it. Otherwise, you have to learn them by simply going to the menu and seeing if
they're all here.
Shortcut key. Yeah.
Yep. Let's look at this, for example. If we start up Microsoft Excel, for example, and this is a prime example. Here's all the shortcuts listed right here. So if I want to open a file, I can do Command O. If I want to print, it's Command P. And some of these you'll see repeat themselves throughout each program. Command Find, F, Command F. So if I do Command F, it just pops right up as a find. I really don't know that there's any special secret keystrokes. There may be a couple that that as technicians we know, for like when we're booting up the computer, we hold certain keys down to reset the PRAM or launch it with no extensions or no, basically just go into the safe mode like you would on a PC, things like that.
Okay, next question.
Wow, we must have done a really good job. Nobody has any questions.